I didn't go back.
Oh, yeah, yes. Sure. Oh my.
Mr. Mayor, we live.
Okay. All right, Mark, thank you. Today is July 19th, 2023. The time is 7:12 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council regular meeting. At this moment, I'd like to ask Pastor Jackson to join us at the podium for a invocation, and if you are able to stand, please do so.
Heavenly Father, we come right now in the name of the Lord and giving you praise, glory, and honor, thanksgiving. Thank you, Father, for Baldwin Park, Lord. Thank you for the mayor of Baldwin Park and City Council and all of those that are working to make Baldwin Park a great city. We're asking you, Heavenly Father, to touch our schools, Lord, as our children are going forth, Lord. And here's a prime example of our state senator here, Father God, that we lift her up as we lift up our children, that they become successful in life, Lord. And that's what we need. So we touch our children, break the power of drugs, break the power of gangs, bring unity within the homes, Heavenly Father. And Father, we lift up the fire department with the things that's going on with the fire. They need your hand, Lord. They need your helping hand. So I'm asking you to bless the fire department, the police department, as they are rolling the streets, Lord, and doing what they have to do to make the city a great city. We're asking you, Heavenly Father, in touching our businesses, Lord, that the businesses in Baldwin Park will grow and prosper, Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus. We thank you that we're able to come together. Without you, we can do nothing. And you said to acknowledge you in all of our ways, and you will direct our path. And that's what we're doing tonight, Lord, acknowledging you that your mighty hand will be up on Baldwin Park. In the name of the Lord, we pray. Amen.
Standing, face the flag, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
City Clerk, can you conduct roll call, please?
Absolutely. Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Avila,
Here.
Councilmember Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Damian.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. City Attorney, is there anything to report out from closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, the City Council recessed into closed session as part of the special meeting. There were quite a few items. We will go over those one by one. The first was a conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation in the matter of 14402 Pacific Avenue, Baldwin Park. Related to that one is a conference with real property negotiator concerning the same address and property. City Council heard presentation from its negotiating team and from legal counsel on that matter, and we have no reportable action. City Council also discussed various cases in the matter of Rookley versus City of Baldwin Park, DJCBP Corporation Tier 1, and David Jew versus City of Baldwin Park, Tony Gutierrez versus City of Baldwin Park. In those matters, City Council heard presentations from legal counsel, and we have no reportable action. There was also a case of Lucy Valencia versus the City of Baldwin Park Housing Authority. That matter was not discussed and will be brought back at the next meeting. I believe that covers, there was one more. There was a discussion regarding a liability claim and potential litigation in the matter of K8 Investor Holdings versus City of Baldwin Park. City Council had a presentation from legal counsel and from staff on that matter, and we have no reportable action.
Thank you for that, City Attorney. At this moment, there is nothing else to conduct in the closed session or the special meeting, so I will move to close the special meeting. Can I have a second?
Second.
No objections, then the special meeting is now adjourned, and we will move on to our announcements, and that is the City Council are also members of the Board of Directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening in the City Council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. We will move on to our proclamations, commendations, and presentations, and we do
Mayor?
have, yes.
If it's okay, I'd like to ask my council colleagues to join me. I'd like to ask if we can close our meeting today in memory of Gary Allen, a native of Baldwin Park who passed. I just have some brief information that Gary Allen was a legend here in the city of Baldwin Park. He sets many records playing Baldwin Park High School football and was a proud graduate of the class of 1978. Gary went on to attend the University of Hawaii, where he was their leading rusher for each season from 1978 to 1981. Gary was recruited by the National Football League, the NFL, where he gained notoriety as a running back for both the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Oilers. Gary and his entire family are part of the fabric that makes our community this family unit that we all participate in. You either knew Gary Allen, you knew of Gary Allen, you knew him, or you knew one of the Allen family members. Their family has over 55 years of history in our community, actually 58 years. They were all amazing. They participate in sports, both city youth and high school leagues. They were entrepreneurs with their own businesses here in our community, and their family continues to live amongst us here in the Baldwin Park community. Gary also dedicated 30 plus years working for the Valley County Water District after his professional football career. Gary Allen passed on July 8th, 2023, surrounded by his family. He was 63 years old. He is survived by his wife, Hilda Calderon Allen, his son, Jaden, and daughter, Adrian Martin, and his siblings, Leon, Doug, Todd, and Lori Allen. He was an amazing husband, father, brother, cousin, and a great friend, always available to give a helping hand, a kind word, encouragement to young athletes, a wonderful and amazing individual, and I will say always with a smile. Gary's services will be the week of August 3rd, Thursday, August 3rd from 5:30 to 9 at Forest Lawn, with his funeral service on Friday, August 4th at 10 a.m. at St. Stephen's Church, 1720 Walnut Avenue in La Puente, with the reception following the funeral at the Covina District Field, which is host to Covina, West Covina, Northview, and South Hills football. My personal deepest condolences to the entire Allen family, to those who knew Gary, and those who loved Gary, and those closest to him. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that, Councilwoman. And of course, we do want to send our condolences to the Allen family. And we will close on his behalf tonight. So we will continue with our proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And we have a legislative update in Sacramento regarding Sacramento by our Senator Susan Rubio for the 22nd District.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. It's always so good to be home after spending so many years in this diocese. It's really incredible to be back when I can. So thank you for this opportunity. I did want to share a little bit of what's happening in Sacramento and come to say hello personally. So thank you. Well, first, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that I'm having an open house and blood drive on August 18th in my office. So I will make sure to give you a lot more information so you can stop by. And I wanted to share some of the bills that we've been pushing forward that help some of our community members, in particular that pertains to the city of Baldwin Park. Number one, I have SB 20, which is a regional housing trust for the entire state of California. And I think that thanks to all of you that made my original housing trust just for the San Gabriel Valley very successful. Now they want to replicate it across the state. And so thank you, Mayor and the council for allowing that trust to flourish with some of the advocacy work that you've been doing on housing and homelessness. And so once again, if it passes, everyone across the state will be able to duplicate that. I also have SB 331, which is Piqui's Law. I think most of you know Ana Esteves, who lost her little boy. The father, Piqui, murdered him, and that was due to a decision that the court made. And so this bill really attempts to put a little bit of pressure on judges to get educated as it pertains to domestic violence and child custody cases. There's been over 900 children murdered at the hands of their parents, abusive parents, and I think it's an issue that we need to tackle and make sure that the courts are prepared to handle such sensitive situations. We know that they do it with a kind heart. It's not that they have bad intentions, but they need to understand some of these cases so they can be more well-informed and, like I said, make better decisions. So Anna is the sponsor, and it's named after her little boy, Peaky, as we all know. I also have a bill that I co-authored, SB 10, which helps tackle the fentanyl crisis. We know that's one of the biggest issues facing not only our youth, it is the number one killer, ages 18 to 40, so it's happening even to adults. But we wanted to ensure that there's a comprehensive plan in schools, and we're working at a larger scale to ensure there's a plan statewide. It continues to grow. The problem is massive, and we hope that none of you ever have to deal with someone that passes away because they don't understand that some of the medication they take, it's laced with fentanyl. So I hope to be able to help in that regard. I also have SB 376, which is a human trafficking bill, another issue where California unfortunately leads in human trafficking. So this bill will allow victims of human trafficking to have a victim's advocate present when they're stopped. Sometimes these young ladies and men are not prepared to handle the legal system, or when they're stopped by police and they end up saying the wrong things, and they end up getting caught up in the legal system, and what they need is help. And so my bill will give a victim of human trafficking someone that's going to be present during interrogation and guide them through the legal system. I also have SB 626. Here we are years later, after we've all collectively, I remember the days in the council, collectively we try to tackle smoking, and there's still a loophole where people can smoke in hotels, and we want to ensure that we protect hospitality workers. There's still hotels that are allowed to have smoking inside the rooms, and we know that secondhand smoke kills, so my bill will eliminate that loophole completely to ensure 100% smoke-free hotels, to ensure that our hospitality workers can work in a safe and clean environment. There's two programs that I want to share with you. I want to update you on the housing trust that I previously mentioned, and San Gabriel SGV works. So one of them is the housing trust that you are a part of as the City of Baldwin Park. And again, it's been extremely successful because cities like yourselves have been willing to work with it and also take advantage of the funding that's available. So currently, I passed that bill in 2019, and we have built 440 units of 700 affordable housing units. And there's 440 in the pipeline to house, again, people that are struggling with housing insecurity. And we've been able to transition so far 47 homeless families into permanent housing. And in large part because of the mayor and the council's willingness, again, to take advantage of the funding. We have two tiny home villages here in the City of Baldwin Park, Esperanza Villa and Serenity Homes. And because of these projects, as well as other cities that are taking advantage of it, 47 people don't have to sleep in the streets. They're now being housed. And the other element of what I'm doing is I created the SGV Works in collaboration with the COG. That means I was able to secure $1 million. And so what they're doing, they're training and helping those individuals that are homeless or those that are in danger of being homeless get work experience, and especially our youth. Sometimes we have youth that are struggling as well. And so there are paid job training opportunities with wraparound services. So we were able to graduate the first cohort last month. 9 individuals now have the opportunity to have a full-time job because of the funding that I was able to bring. And we just completed the second cohort. It's an opportunity you have to apply for, and we just the second cohort will have 12 individuals that have now been selected to complete the second part of it. So if anybody keeps an eye on this and you have someone that needs a job, please look to the COG, because it's a great opportunity to house and make sure that people have job opportunities. I want to thank SGV Works, who put it together, Goodwill of Southern California, and God's Pantry, who's been partnering with the COG, and that is why we're being successful in those efforts. So I want to thank them for it. I know we have a lot of questions on the budget, so there's a lot to share, and I won't go into details, but I just want to share, just the big picture. I know that you heard how difficult the budget was this year. There is a lot of deficiencies, but nonetheless, we were able to figure it out. The budget looks a lot better than the first original governor's proposal. We were able to put $250 million available for small businesses. I know that small businesses were struggling during the pandemic. They're struggling to recover after the pandemic, and $250 million will be there to help them in whatever they need. Of course, they have to apply through GoBiz, but hopefully that helps. We were able to put $2.1 billion to increase school and community college funding. So again, education continues to be an important element of what I do. And we'll continue to push for more funding next year. But this year, $2.1 billion, it was a success considering how bad at least we perceive the budget to be. We also struggled across the state with transit. A lot of transit agencies were going under. They don't have the ability to sustain themselves. During the pandemic, the first thing people did was stop taking public transportation. So that's how they fund their administrative cost. And because they needed our support, we were able to put $5.1 billion for transit across the state. And usually these fundings are restrictive. And now we make sure it's a little bit more flexible to use it however they see fit to ensure that it's sustainable. We also put $289 million for middle-class scholarship programs to maintain current levels in the programs this school year. So we're very happy that we're able to sustain good budget for education. And lastly, I want to share that we made what used to be a temporary CalWorks grant. We have now made it permanent. So now people can continue to use this in perpetuity. So I'm really proud of that work that we've done. Now, what I've done directly for the 22nd Senate District, I've been able to secure $12 million and mostly to help my cities across the region. In particular, I wanted to highlight that I was able to put $8.5 million aside to build a college of well-being. And what that's going to do is going to help make sure that there's an opportunity for our students to get into the healthcare arena, since we know that that's the one area where we're deficient. We cannot get enough healthcare workers to work, and that's why our hospitals they're a little stressed because we're struggling to get people to not only stay in the profession but come into the profession. So this School of Health and Wellbeing in Laverne is going to help make sure that our students in our inner city communities have that opportunity. And that school has 70% minority attendance and fully paid for most of the students. So I'm glad that most of them will get a free ride based on some of the funding that I brought. I also wanted to share that today, I brought a lot of victories for a lot of cities, but I'm only going to share what I brought for you. And please know that I will continue to advocate. So this is not the last time that I will work on bringing funding. As you know, I've been able to support the $6 million for the park that is being built across the street. I've been able to just bring funding through different means, like the Council of Governments, of course, the housing trust that the mayor and the council has taken advantage of. But I know that public safety continues to be a challenge as it pertains to equipment and other technologies. So today I wanted to present a check. I was able to secure funding for you, and thanks to your chief of police who approached me and said, we need some money. I'm sad I couldn't get a lot more for you, chief, but every little counts. And so if I may ask you to come and join me so I could present you with a check, I'd be really honored. Thank you. And invite the mayor and council members to come and join me. Is that okay? Thank you. And thank you, everyone. And my office is always available to answer questions, help you with anything you need. And I'm always happy to be home. Thank you for this time.
Would you like
Thank
to
you.
take the picture up at the dais?
Whatever you prefer, Mayor. Yes? Okay.
Gives you some memory lane.
All right. Sounds good. I'll go up. Thank you. Mayor, and I do want to thank also Assembly Member Blanca Rubio has been really helpful in pushing for funding on the other side. So I want to invite her field rep to join us up there, who was also instrumental in securing some of the funding for the 22nd Senate District. Thank you.
Under the chief dressed up. Go straight to the ATM. Take a picture of it.
So we definitely want to thank Senator Susan Rubio for being here with us today. And we're going to go ahead and continue with the agenda. And next, we do have a proclamation for Parent Bereavement Month, and I'd like to ask our resident, Ana Marie Betancourt Fuentes, to join me at the dais. And come on up. So July is Bereaved Parents Month, and we're going to go ahead and read the proclamation. And so whereas Bereaved Parents Awareness Month is recognized and observed every year around the world in July, and whereas for many parents it can be difficult to talk openly about their grief, many feel it is too personal and private. It is a commonly accepted fact that parents should not have to bury their children. The pain is immeasurable, and they carry this grief with them throughout their lives. And whereas parents are not alone, they can find support groups and organizations that can help them during their sorrow and crucial recovery. And whereas the groups and organizations not only provide support and guidance to grieving parents, but also help raise awareness about how to cope with the loss of a child and allow the parents to speak about their grief freely. And whereas as difficult as it may be, reaching out to relatives and friends can help parents overcome their loss. It may be difficult at first, but it is an important step towards healing. We present this proclamation to Anne Marie Betancourt Fuentes and provide our support and condolences to her for the loss of her son. Now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Monica Garcia, Council Members Alejandra Avila, Tina Mayala, Daniel Damian, City Clerk Christopher Saenz, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, do hereby proclaim July 2023 as Bereaved Parents Month in the City of Baldwin Park and call upon all residents and organizations to provide support to parents going through the grief. This can be a turbulent time for families, and knowing that they have someone to lean on can go a long way.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yes. If you have any, you can take a picture of me right now.
I just want to take the time to thank everybody here for acknowledging July as a Parent Bereavement Awareness Month. It's difficult for people to talk about it, and we all rely on each other to help each other. I know some can't handle it. It's a pain that only you know if you've been through it. And just tell someone, you know, give them a smile, tell them you look nice today, because you don't know what they're going through. And that little smile will make a difference in someone's life. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, and we do want to thank Anna Marie for reaching out and bringing awareness to such an important month of July. We know that it is not easy for parents to have to bury their children, and it's not something that should happen. So we do want to thank her for that and offer her our condolences. Moving on, we will move on to our public communications. So at this moment, I will formally open the public communications. And if there's anybody looking to speak, City Clerk, is there anybody that has filled out the speaker card?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So we've received 2 cards. The first is Tony Mojica. You have 3 minutes.
First, I want to say thank you to all the City Council for allowing me to speak. I come up here to say something. When I first, my name is Tony Mojica, but I want to say something that I have a judo program at Morgan Park. I've been here for 27 years. I've been teaching here, but I've been doing judo for 56 years. And when I first started judo at 12 years old, I had a vision. I wanted to be something special. And I went to special ed for 5 years, and it was very difficult for me. I had no direction where I wanted to go. And I felt that when I went through judo, at 15 years old, I told myself I wanted to be the world champion. And so I had an opportunity to train for this, and I had an opportunity to go to I trained so hard that I had a chance to go to the Olympic trials. I came in second, and I went on to become the Olympic coach in Barcelona. But what I'm trying to drive to is the fact that every child has a dream. And at my program here at Bowen Park, we try to give every child this opportunity to have that dream. And so we're really pressing really hard to do this. And I want to say thank you to the City Council for thinking about giving the program the park some funding. But there's so many of our kids here that are going in different directions. They don't know where to go. And so I really want to say that we have 5 kids right now as we speak. Next week, they'll be competing in Florida representing Baldwin Park. And so with that said, this is our first step toward getting Baldwin Park back up there. And I promise you this, that, in this time here, we have over 60 players, 60 students at our program. And by the end of the year, I really feel that we should have a waiting list to get into our program. And that is my ultimate goal, because I want to see every child that comes to our program have an opportunity to have a dream, to be able to have a chance to compete at the Olympics, or not even at the Olympics, but most people always ask me, what is the most ultimate dream for me? My ultimate dream is to watch these kids go on to become good people. I have so many players. I've taught many national champions and many, but I think the most important thing is to watch these kids grow up to become good citizens. And so that is my goal. Before I retire, which will be hopefully soon, but I want to have a chance to produce one more Olympian to represent Baldwin Park. So thank you again for your time. Thank you again.
Next, we have Cecilia Bernal.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, City staff. Thank you for allowing me to come up and speak. I'm here on behalf of Baldwin Park American Little League. As many of you know, they have won the state championship, the junior division. I wanted to give you a little, actually what I'm doing is seeking funds, hoping that the city can assist them in getting to their next tournament, which is regionals. But it starts with Little League here in our community, and as you know, we have 2 active ones currently right now. They play actually interleague against Baldwin Park National, and then at the end of the season, they play 18 to 20 games. At the end of the season, they compose an all-star team. Then at that time, they compete against other leagues in the San Gabriel Valley, which is part of District 19. District 19 covers Covina, West Covina, Baldwin Park, La Puente, and Azusa. So then they play against each other, and then they become a champion. So they were the junior softball champs for District 19. From there, they go to section, and they play against other leagues in the sectional division. They've just completed the state level. So now they will be representing not only their own league, Baldwin Park American, they will be representing the city of Baldwin Park. They'll be representing District 19 and now Southern California. So it's a big, huge event. We need to get them over to Tucson, Arizona. They will be leaving on Friday, and their first game will be on Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. So again, I'm just seeking funding, hoping that you guys can assist in any way possible. I do also want to recognize their president, Mr. Victor Velasco. Hey, Victor. You know what? All things start at the top, and so the girls couldn't be where they're at without Victor. So I'd like to thank Victor as well. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all the speaker cards at this point.
Okay. Did Blanca's Rubio's representative leave? Oh, I think she did. Okay. Well, we'll continue with public communications. Thank you, Cecilia, for advocating for youth sports. Yes, we're going to continue right now. Seems like you're reading everybody's mind, but I do think that I agree we should help, but we can talk about that once we finish public communications. If anybody else is looking to speak that didn't fill out a speaker card, now is your time.
Buenas tardes, miembros del concilio. Mi nombre es Beatriz Sandoval. Soy residente de Baldwin Park y también soy una organizadora comunitaria con LA Boys. LA Boys está trabajando muy arduamente con otros cientos de organizaciones en el condado de Los Ángeles, trabajando en lo que nosotros llamamos las 3P: producción, preservación y protección de la vivienda asequible. Para nosotros es muy importante que cubramos esas 3 P's, como le llamamos, porque es lo único que nos va a ayudar a salir de esta crisis de vivienda en la que actualmente estamos. Para mí fue de mucha preocupación que el mes pasado pospusieron hablar en un punto de la agenda que era sumamente importante, como el acuerdo que iban a tener con Habitat for Humanity. Ese estudio o esa parte en la agenda está desde octubre del 2021. Estamos en una crisis de vivienda. Sí, les suplico, estoy aquí para apoyar ahora que está este punto en la agenda, que es el número 8, que por favor lo pasen, que por favor lo voten. Hay cientos de familias en Baldwin Park esperando para tener su propia casa, esperando para poder moverse en los lugares donde los están desalojando y puedan pagar la renta que los dueños les están pidiendo. Y solamente les están pidiendo la propiedad porque quieren aumentar la renta más del 5% de lo que ustedes acordaron aquí que podía ayudar a las familias. La semana pasada la señora Elvia Hernández, el juez dictaminó que tiene que salirse de su propiedad. Hace 3 semanas el juez dictaminó que el señor Samuel tiene que salirse de su propiedad. El martes de esta semana el Consejo de Supervisores de Los Ángeles aprobó una moción donde los inquilinos pueden tener representación legal y el programa de State Housing LA va a permanecer por más tiempo. Ellos están esperando como nosotros que las 88 ciudades de Los Ángeles sigan el modelo que está usando el condado de Los Ángeles para poder mantener a las familias bajo un techo. Les suplico que firmen por hoy ese acuerdo, por favor.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Beatriz Sandoval, and I've been a resident of Baldwin Park. I'm involved in many organizations, such as LA Voice. At LA Voice, we're working hard in looking and organizing what we call the 3 Ps: production, preservation, and protection. And it's important for us to protect these programs so that we can overcome this crisis that we're going through. Last month, an important issue in the agenda was continued, and that issue has been on the calendar since October of 2021. It deals with the home crisis. It has to do with the issue number 8 in the agenda. You need to approve it, please. Hundreds of families have been left without a home because of the evictions that is taking place, because they cannot pay more than the 5% increment that has been implemented throughout the county by many people, by many landlords. Last week, Mrs. Fernandez and her family has been ordered to evict her home because of this. And there was another family previously, the same thing. On Tuesday, the council approved a motion by which the 2 representatives will be allowed to obtain legal representation, and and we are asking to implement this as well as it's going on in LA County. We want you to approve this and help us all, please. Thank you.
Buenas tardes. Nosotros somos Luis y Sara Olmedo y vivimos en 13024 Judy Street en Baldwin Park. Hemos vivido ahí por 45 años. Nuestra área es un área tranquila, pero sin embargo, esta mañana fueron a pintar una área en la banqueta vinieron de la ciudad a pintar de rojo, indicando que no se va a poder estacionar 2 carros afuera. Nosotros hemos visto a nuestro vecino, que sabemos que él lo pidió, porque para él significa un árbol, un estorbo. Un carro es un estorbo, porque ellos dicen que no pueden ver a salir cuando salen de su casa en el carro. Pero también también nosotros somos personas mayores y también tomamos precauciones. No pedimos que quiten los árboles porque son esenciales. No pedimos que quiten los carros, sino que salimos con cuidado de nuestra casa. Entonces, pedimos, por favor, que borren eso porque actualmente hay nuevos vecinos porque han hecho casas atrás de nuevas casas. Y hay más vecinos y hay mucha necesidad de estacionamiento. Las personas, mis vecinos, 24 horas, 7 días, afuera de la calle ponen los 3 botes de basura para que nadie se estacione allí. Ok, nosotros respetamos eso y si lo acepta la ciudad no es nuestro problema. Pero ahora sí pedimos que borren el rojo de ahí de afuera de mi casa porque inclusive en mi casa tenemos necesidad de ese estacionamiento. Y eso venimos a pedir, por favor. Ahí tenemos hasta el árbol, han querido que lo corten, le han quitado una rama que necesitamos de esos árboles. Necesitamos que se limpie el ambiente. Por eso nosotros cuidamos mucho. Mi esposo limpia hasta el área de ellos porque sabemos cómo son. Y traemos unas fotos para que ustedes miren cómo él tiene sus botes que no permite estacionar, el árbol que le han cortado todas las ramas y lo que han pintado. Eso es lo que pedimos ahora. ¿Gustan ver las fotos? Yo las tengo en mi teléfono. Ok, gracias.
Good afternoon. We are residents of Baldwin Park. We reside at 13024 Jury Street in Baldwin Park for over 45 years. We live in an area that is quiet, but this morning, the sidewalk in front of our house has been painted red, which means that there is no parking allowed for 2 cars outside. And we saw how our neighbor was the one who caused it or asked for this, you know, and this creates a problem really because he see a tree or a car outside as a problem, as a barrier. And I don't think that this should be seen like that. We don't want to get rid of the trees. As a matter of fact, we need the trees because they clean the environment. Please change this. There are more and more neighbors in our area because they're building new homes or new properties in the back of the properties. So the need for parking in the street is very high. 24 hours a day, sometimes this neighbor keeps his 3 trash bins outside so no one can park. Please change this area. Please change this red area in front of the sidewalk so that we can park vehicles there. This tree has been cut, it's been trimmed, and we need trees to protect the environment. My husband usually takes care of the trees outside. He cleans them, he makes sure that they're okay, and he waters them too. And there are 3 issues that is going on with my neighbor. First, the trash bins that he keeps outside, then the trees that have been trimmed by him, and then the red paint. Please help us with that. There are also additional pictures that I have here that I'm going to submit so that you can all see them.
Buenas tardes al miembro del consejo. Mi nombre es Clara Barrientos, soy residente de Baldwin Park por 33 años. Como ustedes pueden ver, soy una persona de la tercera edad, pero estoy muy contenta de participar en las reuniones de Ellis Boy. Me estoy preparando para ser una líder. Por muchos años estuve muy ocupada trabajando muy duro para poder vivir con dignidad. Esta noche quiero expresar mi preocupación por el alto costo de la renta. Afortunadamente yo vivo con mi hijo y su familia, pero mis amigas no tienen el privilegio. Muchas de ellas pagan casi todo lo de su cheque en renta del lugar donde viven. Mi amiga y hermana Beatriz nos dijo que hoy es una parte en la agenda, creo que es el punto número 8, si ustedes firman, va a ayudar para que muchas familias tengan un hogar que pueden pagar o que pueden convertirse en dueños. Por favor, miren, esa hora es urgente, esa familia está yendo.
Good afternoon, members of the council. My name is Clara Barrientos. I'm a resident of Baldwin Park for 33 years. As you can see, I am a person of the third age, but I am very happy to be able to participate in meetings with LA Voice. I am preparing to become a leader. Through many years, I have been very busy working hard to survive and to be able to live with dignity. Tonight, I want to express my concern about the high cost of rent. Fortunately, I live with my son and his family, but my friends don't have that privilege, and many of them pay almost all their income to rent in the different places where they live. My friend and sister Beatrice told us that tonight, an issue in the agenda here is going to deal with this issue. I think it's number 8. If you sign this is going to help to many families so that they can have a home that they will be able to afford, or they could even turn into property owners. Please sign this now. It is urgent. Our families are suffering.
Hello, City Council. Glad to hear that you're all here today. This report is not written very good. I'm not an expert, but it seemed that the reports we had before, if I may say again, was a lot more informative. People that don't want to go on the internet and sit down there for 15 hours or whatever it takes to read your minutes, doesn't seem that the people that are here are getting any good information. Before I stopped coming for a while, I asked if you guys ever get a financial report. You didn't give anybody. Look at this, doesn't even say you have a meeting. But it's okay, we got somebody that can collect money and not address anything to the public. Some of these people don't sit on a computer all day like some of you people do. I'm glad that the previous lawyer isn't here any longer. I hope the one that's here now will do a lot better for all of us. He helped raise our taxes for the city. I hope that in your report that she has to fill out whenever she does, that it gets done and it shows where all this money's going. I know, number 1, the fire department. Number 2, the police department. And the 5 city council members and all the employees of Baldwin Park. We're not employees, but we pay a lot of taxes to you people. I hope that a lot of that money is going to be saved because Waste Management, they want a chunk of our money. And being that we don't separate all this garbage, we just throw it in the garbage, they're finding ways to raise our rate. So you city council people that allowed the previous lawyer, to help push this through, I hope you take that money and pay Waste Management. Because they're going to 10-year contract, they figure we'll make up that, finding some way to tax these people. How many of you are going to actually separate the food waste, trash, and recycle stuff? Recycle's become a waste of time. I sell my stuff and whatever I collect. But you
so much
people
for your
do
time.
not help the situation.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I know. That's telling me my time's up. Glad to see you're all here today.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. My name is Roman Rodriguez. I'm your Parks and Recreation Commissioner. I'd like to congratulate you on a very successful Parks Make Life Better month. If you do not know, the month of July, we celebrate Parks Make Life Better. As a dedicated professional for 24 years in the role of as a Parks and Recreation professional, I would like you to commend your department because they have done a very good job in representing you and what they do. Baldwin Park is very well known for the programs and services that they offer. They're most definitely cutting edge, and most of all, they are award winning. You should be very proud of your department and your employees and your volunteers and workers. It's a hard thing to run a recreation department and to do it on the scale that I say them as well as us and how we do it. Again, kudos to the department, kudos to you as City Council for what you do. Recreation and community services, one often overtakes one over the other. The department does it very well in carrying both titles of recreation and community services. So I don't want to take up too much time because I am a city professional as well, and I understand that I don't want to take up your time because it's very important what you do tonight. But again, kudos to you guys. Kudos to Mr. Carrillo for his hard work and dedication in leading the department. Maria, Manny, Armando, Helen, and the rest of them. Again, very good job. And it's been an honor as a Parks and Recreation Commission to represent the public and you as well. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, miembros del Consejo. Mi nombre es Alicia Escalante y soy residente de Baldwin Park por más de 20 años. También soy un líder con LA Boys y parte de la Iglesia de San Juan Bautista. Mi familia y yo somos muy afortunados de tener un techo donde vivir. Hace algunos 4 años tuvimos que mudarnos del apartamento donde vivimos por 17 años. Tengo una niña con necesidades especiales. Ella tiene un apego muy especial a esta ciudad. Aquí nació, ha crecido y al igual que mis otros hijos y mi esposo y yo, tenemos nuestros amigos aquí, nuestra iglesia y las escuelas en las que siempre hemos sido unos padres muy participativos. Afortunadamente nosotros vivimos en un apartamento que podemos pagar. Cuando escuchamos hace casi 2 años del programa de Habitat, nos llenó de alegría que podemos aspirar a tener nuestra propia casa. Ese mismo tema estuvo en la agenda hace un mes y ahora está otra vez. Quiero pedirles que la firmen ahora. Mi Alondra en sus sueños está tener su propio igual que todos nosotros. Y yo soy un ejemplo de una gran parte de esta ciudad, que no podemos comprar una casa por los altos costos, pero sí podríamos con la ayuda de este programa. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon, members of the council. My name is Alicia Escalante, and I'm a resident of Baldwin Park for over 20 years. I'm also a leader with LA Voice and take part in St. John Baptist Church. My family and I are very fortunate for having a roof under which we live. Since 4 years ago, we had to move from the apartment where we lived for 17 years. I have a young girl who with special needs. She's very close and very special to this city. She was born here, she has grown up here, and same as all my other children, and my husband and I have our friends here, our church and the schools where we have always taken part as a participating parents. Fortunately, we have lived in an apartment. Unfortunately, we have lived in an apartment that we can no longer pay. When we heard almost 2 years ago about the Habitat program, we were really happy because we could aspire to have our own property eventually. That same subject has been kept in the agenda since a month ago, and now it's here again. I want to ask you to please sign it. Maya Alondra, with her dreams, is to have her own place without fears. I am an example in this city, and we want to buy here. Thank you.
Good evening, members of council, mayor. My name is Fernando Sandoval. I'm like 20-something years of resident of Baldwin Park. Most of you know my family, my wife. I didn't realize I get really emotional when it comes to my family. I'm 57 years old. I cannot afford to buy a house. We've been trying to qualify for many years. We cannot do it. When I found out that you guys need to approve an update affordable ownership expansion program and private activities from Habitat for Humanity, and it's been sitting there for 2 years already, it makes me mad. It makes me really mad because there is family like me, like my family, and a lot of others right here that lives right here in Baldwin Park that we need a house. We need a better home. And I don't understand why you haven't approval this program. This organization is very good, and I'm here today to see that you guys approve this project. Please, thank you.
John Rios, resident. One of the things that the city of Baldwin Park has a good reputation. For people that run for office, they have to live in Baldwin Park. They cannot live in La Puente, El Monte, Azusa, or anything. After seeing the meeting of last week, or 2 weeks ago, I didn't realize that we had somebody up there that doesn't belong. That person should, if he has any honor with himself, to just step down. He does not live in Baldwin Park, And there's the lawyer can't do anything. The only thing they can do, if he doesn't resign, then we're going to have to go a little higher. Okay? But other than that, a lot of people that have come up here
about the rent control, the affordable housing and everything, the parking. The city of Baldwin Park, we have a big problem with the parking. I talked to Danny Damien about getting permits for the residents, especially in my area. We have some apartment houses that a lot of them, they go clear over to our areas and park their cars. We can do the same thing they did over here where Lozano used to live, by permit, from 6 to 6. You know, and well, Danny was supposed to give me some information. What do we have to go through to get something like that? You know, I just don't want to, like, some people say, well, they painted red. We shouldn't paint red in residence unless there's a fire hydrant or a crosswalk. You know, that's something that we have to look at, you know. Manny, thank you for the flyers. I'll hand them out. Ron, thank you too for taking care of the problems we talked about. Sam, nice seeing you on Saturday. Thank you.
Hola, buenas noches a todos. Ahora sí los veo a todos juntos. A veces están incompletos, a veces están completos todos. Ok, ahora vuelve el problema conmigo otra vez. Creo que no estamos de acuerdo en nada. Me empiezan a molestar otra vez los code enforcement y yo no sé por qué motivo. ¿Qué hago malo? No sé yo, pero creo que está incorrecto lo que está haciendo Ron. Lo que te voy a dedicar es a ir a buscar otros negocios que están más peor que yo, más altas las paredes. Yo lo que estoy haciendo es proteger mi negocio para que no me roben, porque desde que yo no tenía ese lugar así alto, me robaban mucho y he perdido mucho dinero. Dedícate mejor a buscar los negocios que no pagan impuestos, que están clandestinos trabajando. Si los buscas son como no sé cuántos, muchos. Vete a los negocios de las building a chequear quién no tiene licencias. Está perdiendo dinero en la ciudad de Baldwin Park. Yo atribuyo dinero a la ciudad. Deja de molestar por favor ya y trata de darme una opción cómo arreglar mi negocio. Y vete a Royal Coach, vete a otros negocios que tienen que arreglar sus propiedades que están más altas que la mía. Baldwin Park Bar está muy alta más que la mía. Y en otro comentario que tengo aquí también de la basura, que nos están mandando unas cartas que tenemos que poner todo aparte. Es muy difícil poner todo aparte. ¿Cómo vamos a poner una casa de plátano acá, una hoja acá? No se puede, es muy difícil. Tiene que ir cada cosa con su cosa, pero no todo como ellos quieren, porque es muy duro. Y lo demás todo está, los signs que yo levanto diario, yo no estoy haciendo complaint por eso tampoco. A mí no me ayuda de nada. Ustedes estoy haciendo mucho por la ciudad y no me ayuda de nada. Tienen que ayudarme también a estar conmigo. Porque yo no veo superación para mí. Si ustedes no me apoyan, yo estoy perdido. Tienen que ayudarme para estar apoyándolos. ¿Ok? Gracias.
Good evening. Okay, glad to see that everyone's here. I have a problem with the agreement in regard to the code enforcement. They're not helping. We haven't really been able to reach an agreement. What's going on? There are other businesses with walls that are much higher than mine and that create bigger problem than mine, and they don't get harassed like I am. I contribute with a lot of money to the city, but you don't give me any help. I should suggest you to look for other businesses with more serious problems, the businesses that are clandestine, that they're operating without licenses. I contribute a lot of money, and so don't bother me and help me instead. You can go to Royal Coach, which has higher walls, and the reason why I have the walls like that is because I want to protect my property. I've been victim of burglaries for quite a long time, and I want to protect my property. The other issue I want to mention is the trash. They're telling us that we have received a letter where we have to separate, in which they indicate that we need to separate or sort the trash. One leaf here, one different thing here. That's very difficult. And I pick up signs every day, and I never complained. I help, but you don't help me. That's it. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. This is my first time talking to you guys. I'm here because, okay, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me well? I'm here because of Proposition 8 for affordable homes. As you've been hearing from everybody else, how it has affected them, and I'm here also to try to help our community and support them. Since I've been getting a little bit more involved with the community, I've been learning more, little here and there. I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous. I've been learning more, and I also would like to say thank you so much for each and one of you guys. I know you guys take your jobs very seriously. I've been learning so much. It's very good to know that my city councils are, helping all of us. And I think this affordable home will help a lot of people. I know it might not be much for some others, but for those who can afford it, it will be a great start. So thank you so much. And please consider agenda number 8. I believe that's correct. Thank you so much.
Greg Tuttle, business owner. First of all, I'd like to address that some of the council members, I know Jeannie Alla and Signs went on a trip to Washington, D.C., which I view as a useless trip, spent city funds and money to go to Washington, D.C. Now, in this, you need to give a report from the council to the residents of what the meeting was about and why we needed to spend thousands of dollars to send you there. Airfare, hotel fares, cab fare, the whole thing. It's a joke. I used to go to the ones that Monica got into, that they tried to file restraining orders on me to stop me from coming. Because Monica would go in there for 5 minutes and then go out to the hotel with their developers and get the payoffs. Okay, now let's get back to the real thing. We got a city clerk that doesn't live in the city of Baldwin Park. He claims he goes back and forth to his ex-wife's house. He signed papers under the penalty of perjury, divorce papers, which I have here of evidence, that he lives at 1163 North Orange Avenue in La Puente. We have pictures verifying that with his car sitting there at the street. And this has been going on since December of last year that we've been doing this. So we've given him a chance to come clean and step down. And if he wants to run next year for election, he can. But if he fails to do that, we're filing charges with the DA's office. And when you get penalty of perjury, you're going to get a felony. That means you'll never hold an office, a public office again. So I want you to think real and hard, because this is your last meeting that I'm coming to talk to you about this. But we don't appreciate it when you come in here and you file false things, which means you will be having to pay back the money that you received as a city clerk, as a planning commissioner, and this trip that you went on city money, because you weren't a legal resident of Baldwin Park. So we want to find out at the next meeting how you're going to be, because if you don't do this, we will file the charges. And I think Pacheco, Tafoya, Chief Taylor, a few others all understand. I mean when I say, and they're all up for criminal charges, and you will be too. I don't bluff. I'm here to try to clean up city stuff, dirty stuff. Like Jeannie over there, her and Lozano bought votes. We got her email stuff. She's asking $50 for votes. But she didn't get convicted because Lozano had connections in the DA's office, but he doesn't have that anymore. But we do have the connections in there, and we will enforce it. Thank you very much. And you will be done.
Okay, seeing that nobody else is looking to speak, we will move to close public communication.
Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman.
Thank you. So first of all, we want to thank Cecilia. Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, members of the council. My name is Mayra Mercado, and I'm here because I want to talk about something is happening right now to me. In the house that I'm living in, they're asking me to evacuate. Like in 2 months, I have to leave. The landlord, it's really doesn't have feelings. You know, she wants me out because she wants to bring her grandson to live in. And I've been living there for six years. Me and my boys, they're working hard and everything. They're trying to buy a house but right now, if we go and the rents are really high. So what I'm thinking is that they're saying, Mom, they're worried because we have to leave. We have to evacuate in 2 months. The rents are way too high. They need to pay 60% of what the wages they're making. So they're saying, Mom, our dream to buy a house is gonna be harder because how we're gonna save money? Because they're asking us to leave. We're trying to save money right now. And if we go over there or outside here in the city of Baldwin Park, we're not gonna be able to buy a house to save money because we're gonna pay 60% of our wages. So I'm here to talk to you guys about this Habitat for the Humanity, which is point number 8, for you guys to consider that people like me and other families are needing for this project. Everybody here, most of the families in Baldwin Park are looking for something to afford to pay, and it will be like amazing for us to have a house of our own, and not, some landlord come and tell us, you know what, you have to evacuate because it's our house and we have to leave. It's their houses. We can't do anything. But the rent here is really, really high, and I want you to consider to look in the agenda that this project is for us, low-income families, that we can be having,
I'm sorry, your time is up. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Seeing that nobody else is looking to speak, I will give the floor to Mayor Pro Tem Garcia.
Thank you. I just wanted to respond to some of the comments. So thank you, Cecilia Bernal, for being here. Victor Velasco, we're very excited for the girls to compete at a high level and represent our city. And I think we'll be discussing that item during council communication. So just hang in there for a little bit more. And then I also wanted to ask our Director of Public Works, could you look into the item on Judith Street and let us know what the situation is there? Are you familiar with that red curb?
Yes. Absolutely. I will look into it, follow up, and report back to the council.
Okay, sounds good. And we'll be doing a walk on the 28th, so we'll probably pass through there.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Great. Thank you for that. So City Attorney, do you want to talk a little bit about AB 1234?
Just as a reminder, because we are and one of the speakers brought it up, we are in conference season, and some of you have attended or will be attending conferences of the provision in AB 1234 that encourages you to make an announcement at the next regular meeting after the attendance of the conference that states that you attended. In many cases, elected officials will indicate what conference they attended, what sessions they may have attended, what they found useful, how long the conference was. And so typically that's done at the regular meeting following your attendance at the conference. It can also be done in writing. It doesn't have to be an announcement here, but it can also be done in writing. But AB 1234 does encourage public officials throughout California to make those announcements, to let the public know that the conferences that you have gone on, and obviously they are beneficial because you learn a lot of what's going on in the other cities that can help bring fresh ideas to your own city. That is something that is encouraged by AB 1234, and they want to make sure that you're reminded of that.
And if I may add to that, City Attorney, on our agenda, typically we would use council communications to share that information.
Some cities have a specific designated area on the agenda that they've listed for AB 1234 announcements, but in most cases, the elected officials will do that as part of their council comments.
Yes, and council communications is at the end of the meeting, and we're also going to be addressing the Little League item as well. So hang tight.
Okay, thank you for that, City Attorney. Moving on from public communications, we are going to our consent calendar. If there's any items council is looking to pull, now is your time. Okay, that's it. 7, right? Okay. Just go ahead and pull items number 7 and 8. Can I get a motion to pass items 1 through 6, excluding 7 and 8? Okay. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you. Mayor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilmember Avila? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Garcia?
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala?
Yes.
Councilmember Damian?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you for that. Item number 7, I believe we have to have a presentation. So this item should have been on the, not in the consent calendar, but it is the approval of employment agreement with Nicholas C. Baldwin for the position of city planner. Enrique, are you taking over this or is Ron?
I am, and it's a verbal reading of the recommended salary as it would have been on the report of officers. It cannot be a consent item, so our mistake. So the recommended salary for your consideration of approval of the agreement is $9,063.42 per month, or $108,760.99 annually. So that's what we are recommending at step 3, and the nominee has agreed to that salary. So with your approval, then we will bring the person on board. I recommend approval.
Great. Is there any questions from staff or council? If not, we can make the motion to approve. Can I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, roll call, please.
Just confirming the second was Councilmember Damian?
Avila.
Mayor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilmember Avila? Mayor Pro Tem Garcia?
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, moving on. Item number 8, approval of the updated affordable homeownership expansion program. So you did get to hear, Senator Susan Rubio talk about the Regional Housing Trust. And so one thing I wanted to bring up when she was here, and I totally forgot, was that, as we all know, Joe finally got his apartment. So Joe has finally moved on, and we're very excited. There's a new segment on Spectrum, and you can check it out and see him move into his new place. And although Joe wasn't he was our first to go into the tiny homes, but he wasn't the first to come out. There were a multitude of other seniors, including, I believe her name was Mary. She just went out last month, and I believe some of us met her. So it's very exciting, and this affordable homeownership program is part of that process to make sure that people are able to stay where they live, where they've grown up, and where they have roots to. So I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited to see this create opportunities for our residents to have generational wealth. Councilmember Damian, and I know you have some questions. Just want to double check.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to just make some clarifications. I know that we had several speakers come up tonight addressing the item number 8 with Habitat for Humanity. I know that said that we've had it in the back burner since 2021. However, this has been a process. So it's not that we've never approved this item. What happens is obviously there's a process. This takes time. We're happy that we're working with our partnership with Habitat for Humanity. But this staff report was just basically more towards us allocating the funding to certain projects. And so if you look at the staff report, it'll tell you how much money is going to be allocated to what type of projects. As an example, we have the 12779 Torch Street, which will have a 12 new construction, and then the 4288 Stewart, which will have 16 new constructions. So this is just something that's been in the process. It's not that we've declined it or we don't want to approve it, but it's just more of a formality so that we're able to show you where the funding is going. And that's just the clarification that I wanted to make.
Great, thank you for that. And so, we're excited. I do want to mention we talking about that lot split SB9. That's we're probably one of the first cities to be doing that SB9 project. So that's really interesting. There's no more questions. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Ron, I just wanted some clarification regarding the Stewart address
Yes.
for the project. If you can tell us the correction for that.
Yes, thank you, Council Member, for noting that. Just a correction in the staff report had a typo on the address for Stewart. The correct address is 4428 Stewart. The address I was indicating in the staff report was incorrect. So thank you for.
You're welcome. I
catching
just
that.
have one other question regarding the Torch location. It states here in the report that it'll be including off-site improvements on the second sentence for the Torch Street homes. This cost will be including off-site improvements required by the city. What is that including? Is that including the Marlinda Avenue? And is that including the utility
So the
poles that are in that middle of that street?
So the funds for both Torch, it's important to note this, the funds that are allocated for both Torch and Stewart are to go to construction costs.
Okay, but it says here on the Torch Street homes that, and it explains the construction of those townhomes, but it'll be including off-site improvements required by the city. And what I'm asking, are those off-site improvements the utility poles that are currently in Marlinda and anything related to Marlinda Street? Because that's a private road, right?
That is correct, yeah, and we're working with their engineering department and also with our utility company. Habitat is working with Edison to address that issue on Marlinda, given that it is a private street.
So this is what we're talking about then in that sentence. Okay,
Yes,
those two things,
Marlinda.
the street and the utility poles.
Correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And you did bring up a good point on Stewart. That is I believe our first YIGBY project, which is Yes in God's Backyard, meaning churches are turning to create affordable housing in their backyard. So that's really neat.
wow.
So this project brings a lot of opportunities. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve item number 8. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any more questions? Now's the time. If not, we're done forever. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. Thank you for that, City Clerk. Yes.
Mayor, City Council, I just want to say thank you very much. Brian Wong with Habitat for Humanity. We are excited, ecstatic to get started. We have a number of projects, as you're well aware. The support has been great. We are looking forward to giving you an update on all of the different things that we're working on, the new housing units, the lot splits, ADUs, the entire spectrum of housing that that you are addressing in the city is commendable. And we're going to see some huge differences here in a short period of time. So we look forward to coming back and giving updates as we move along. Thank you guys once again.
Mayor. Brian, and as you see, there's already a line of people waiting for those homes to apply. So the goal is to try to get 100% of Baldwin Park
There might be some
residents.
demand. I don't know.
Yeah,
about
we,
that front,
and
but-
the list will grow. So I know the word's getting out. So you saw, they came, they spoke. They're anxious for these properties to get built so they can start applying. So as soon as that information's available, residents, you will have that for you.
We'll be putting together a marketing plan in the next month or so. So the rules and guidelines are clear to everybody. So everybody can see what's going on. We're looking at a wide spectrum of housing from 1-bedroom houses to 4-bedroom houses. So we can meet the needs of the community as a whole. As we get further down the process, we're getting very, very close to that point where we'll be putting this out so we can go through a selection process. You guys will be the first to know.
Okay, thank you. Exciting.
Thank you, guys. Have a great
All
night.
right. Thank you. All right. Public hearing, item number 9. Public hearing and introduction of ordinance number 1505 of the City Council of the City of Baldwin Park, California, amending Title 15 of the Municipal Code by adding Chapter 157 titled Permit Process for Electric Vehicle Charging and Hydrogen Fueling Stations. So we'll open up this public hearing. Ron, any just fast facts that we should know about this item?
Our building official had just a quick presentation on the item. Long Tang.
Talking about the
Just a quick summary on the proposed ordinance. Quick summary on the proposed ordinance for the electric vehicle.
oh the ordinance.
We're on your item now, Long.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This, in reality, this ordinance is overdue. It was supposed to be done back in 2017. The state passed AB, was it 1236 back in 2015. Subsequently, every city with a population less than 200,000 must pass an ordinance adopting specific guidelines from the governor's office to expedite and streamline the approval process for electrical vehicle charging stations. And those type of cities must have passed an ordinance by, was it 2017, the end of September, I believe. I don't remember exactly. So that wasn't done here, so I guess we're kind of late. But as we move along in 2021, there was another Assembly Bill 970, and with Marco showing me that in 2022 there was another Assembly Bill 1231, I believe, that keep adding on more specific detailing in terms of the approval process. So with 1231, the more specific language is you must approve it administratively within, any type of charging station within 5 working days. If it's less than 10 and it's less than 25 and it's 10 working days, if it's more than 25 stations. Now, AB 1231, I believe, let me double check real quick. And I apologize, I was not prepared to give a presentation, it was just a hearing.
No worries.
1291, excuse me. But with 1291, they introduced hydrogen charging station. So you got EVs and now you got hydrogen vehicles. And of course, the current most popular one is the Toyota Mirai, I believe, which a lot of people are driving around now, and the charging stations are coming up. So all this is within the scheme of the state's desire to be more energy efficient and going toward this global green initiative that we all strive for a cleaner environment. So this ordinance basically codified everything that we were supposed to do, and it's pretty much a mandate by the state, so we can't really say no. Okay, so in the little time that I can squeeze this in, that's pretty much it. Oh, in terms of denial, we pretty much cannot deny unless we a specific permit application, unless we specifically find something wrong in terms of health and safety criteria. So yeah, you put that charge in, it's going to blow up, therefore we deny it, but that's hardly the case with all the technology that's available today. That's already governed in the manufacturing side of things, so by the time it gets to us, it's not even a factor. So it's pretty much a foolproof type of approval process for us.
I just wanted to know, because I wanted to know if, well, it seems like this is going to facilitate it by not coming to, it's just administrative, but is there anything
Yes.
else that we can do to facilitate the process? I know that, we're in the hub of the San Gabriel Valley. We want people to shop here, we want people to hang out here. I know that there's been talks with Tesla about trying to get them to put their chargers here, and we're working on chargers. And I know that hydrogen is kind of up and coming. We have one station, but the more stations in the area, probably the more beneficial for everybody, right? As we try to clean up our pollution, our air pollution.
What I will say to that, Mayor, so the even better news is, so one, yes, we're codifying the streamlining process as is required by state law. But the better news is that we have been taking in the applications and acting on them expeditiously. So, while the law clearly codifies it by the ordinance, the fact is that we have been expediting and processing the applications in a timely way. So that's the even better news. But now, of course, with this ordinance, it's clearly on the books that we will be in compliance with the requirements by the state law. So to your question on Tesla or anybody else, yes, as we talk with Tesla, they have pretty ambitious plans to expand the charging capacity here in the city. Some were actually under review already in the planning department. And anyone, a Tesla or any other company who will propose to build here, as well as our own, right? We're building some of our own. So
if you don't mind, let me kind of break down the logistics of things. So the approval, the whoever putting in charging station, they still need to meet the planning requirement of the size of the parking area. So the size is still there. In terms of us building and how complicated this is, it's like us looking at a plug in the wall type of thing. It's not really complicated. It's just digging trench, laying conduits, and setting a pedestal for us. So the expedition part of it, expeditious approval process of it, is not a big deal. We've been doing it. We've been doing it for the Target site. Right, we did that, and we did it for a couple of other sites already. So it's not something that's drastic in terms of changing things. It made it a big deal, but because it sounds important, right? But in reality, is the work itself. Yes, it's hard work, but our inspection, our review process, like I said, I hate to put it that way, but you run a wire in the wall, that's the same process we go through.
Mayor, I'm glad to see that, we're officially, like you say, codifying this electric vehicle charging and also hydrogen fuel station. That is an emerging fuel source, and I think that, that's our future. So I'm excited that we are on board for that here at the City of Baldwin Park. And I agree with you that we have been talking about electric vehicle charging stations, demonstration projects. And so why, as you pointed out, why did it come to us this late, quote unquote? Was it just the need wasn't there to codify it because we were deferring to state law?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the audio is not really good from this point.
I can speak to how it came to be that, so, well, we better bring this to have it on the books, is that we, in our relationship with Edison, Southern California Edison, which is multifaceted, including, them, us applying for a grant from them on building additional charging stations. In that exchange of knowledge and information, they said, you guys don't have this in your books as you are required to. And, at that point, so, let's bring it on the books. Long quickly got this put together, worked with our city attorney. That's why you're seeing it now.
Okay.
And actually, it was done a few months ago, but
Shame on you. I gave it to you a month ago.
But I held it up because I said, look, if we're gonna comply with the electric vehicle, there's a new law on hydrogen. We might as well add that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize the hydro, they tagged that on, but might as well.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just the
glad we're ready for it.
same approach.
Also want to make a note that with the ordinance, and as Long mentioned, we have been processing the stations expeditiously. We are prohibited from requesting additional treatments, such as additional landscaping when they are proposing within the parking lot. But we've been successful in working with the applicants. They've been good partners. That when they disturb parking lots, landscaping areas, that they do replace any damaged landscaping. But we do get that reminder sometimes. We do recommend, we don't require that they enhance the area because we have seen some stations where they just install them and then not get treated as they should. But so far we've been pretty lucky in working with the contractors.
And one note I'd like to add is this applies to commercial sites, not your standard, home chargers type of thing. Because a charger at home, again, is just adding a new line to your panel. And that's it. So it doesn't quite apply to single family home type thing. So.
Great.
Mayor.
Yes.
So I just want to speak on behalf of item number 9. I'm excited about this one just because as a household who has both an electric and a hydrogen car, we really need these. Ron, I don't know if you can answer this question for me. I know you did briefly mention that there are some applications ready for some of these. Do you know roughly how many are out there? And are they only for electric charging stations or are they hydrogen stations coming too?
About a year and a half ago, we did approve a hydrogen station. It was one of the few in the San Gabriel Valley,
We are the only
located
one out
across
here.
from the Baldwin Park Town Center, which is the Chevron station.
Yep.
So there is one there, and that was one of a few in the San Gabriel Valley again.
We're the only one here out this way. The next ones would be in Diamond Bar
Oh,
or
wow.
Pasadena.
Yes, so it was a pretty big thing when that came before the Planning Commission for approval. The other charging stations that have been approved, that are in the process right now, are the shopping center that's located on Ramona and Francisquito. So that's currently in process, and that's a Tesla station.
It's specifically a Tesla station? So there'd be rapid chargers pretty much. Or, because there's different kinds of charging mechanisms. There's the rapid chargers, and then there's the ones that can take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. If
Well,
that.
that's up to the people providing the chargers, nothing that we can authorize
Just
or
recently, because I have had
require.
people ask me who have electric
Yeah,
cars. in
if
the
they want to charge more money, then they put in the rapid ones, but If they just don't care, they put in the regular one, so we can't really say anything about that.
Okay, thank you.
And the other charging stations at the shopping center where Smart and Final is on Main Avenue, we have some charging stations there. It looks like we have also some other charging stations that our Public Works Department's working with.
Yeah, so as Enrique mentioned earlier, we're working with Edison through their Charge Ready program. And so we are looking at 24 level 2 stations, 12 at the Metrolink station, and 12 on the Little Ramona, not Little Ramona, on the Ramona side street parking. And we're also looking at a fast charging station for the city yard, so we can start the transition to electric vehicles there. And also working with Edison, 4 stations at the Zócalo. And so to move forward with the program, since they're going to be doing the infrastructure work, we need this ordinance to be in place.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing. So if there's anybody in the public looking to speak in favor or opposition of the item, now is your time to do so. Looking at that nobody is looking to speak, I will go ahead and close the public hearing. I'll make the motion to approve the item. Can I have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. We will move on to, sorry. Go ahead. So item number 10, general plan amendments to repeal and replace the housing element, safety element, and health and sustainability element to meet the housing, safety, and environmental justice element state law requirements. I am going to go ahead and open the public hearing. I think 10 and so I'll officially open the public hearing to speak in favor or opposition of item number 10. Anybody in the audience is looking to speak, now is your time. City Clerk, is there anybody fill out any speaker cards?
No, Mayor, at this time we have not received any requests for comment.
All right, thank you for that. And seeing that nobody is looking to speak from the audience, I will go ahead and officially close the public hearing for anybody looking to speak in favor or opposition. Is there any comments or motions on the floor from the council?
Yes, Mayor, I do have some comments. I was looking through the report and I saw that there was a list of more current initiatives at the city. And I just wanted to point out that this does not reflect all the initiatives since this, what the housing element and health and sustainability element were last adopted, right, Ron? It's more examples.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So is it possible to just in the language of the staff report to make mention of that, to state that these are examples of some of the initiatives, here at the city for 21, 22, but it's not all, inclusive, right? I want to make sure, because as I was reading this, it wasn't really clear. And there's just so much more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So.
Yes, we can add language in that before we send that document to the state. We're prepared to send it to the state tomorrow.
Okay.
But we can make that note.
Yeah, like here are some examples of our efforts, right? Here are some examples, but it's not the all-inclusive list.
And that's what essentially that's what it's doing. It's just providing a list of activities that the city is undergoing, but we can make that clarification that it's not all inclusive.
It's not all inclusive, because when I was looking at this, I'm like, this is very current, but it certainly does not reflect all the initiatives since the last update, right? Yeah, and then I was also thinking about our health and sustainability element, and you had some input on that based on a conference that you attended and for the well, and I just was wondering if there's still opportunity to still receive input, or is this a draft, or is it final?
We are at the end. Yes,
Okay.
Again, we're excited, 2+ years working on this document and working tirelessly with our housing element consultant and with our representatives at HCD. This document is ready to go to the state tomorrow.
Okay.
So we can have a certified housing element
So we are down to the wire here.
compliance, correct?
Yeah, no, and I know that these documents do take a long time, but there was some really great consideration that we should give to water usage. And I know that at the city, we are a different agency than Valley County Water District, but there were some really great some input and ideas, and I know you wanted to share, City Clerk Sines, with regard to like how we could design, and some of it is already incorporated, but hopefully moving forward, we'll still be able to have a conversation around, you know, some of those things, and then maybe at the next update, really, you know, kind of formalize some of the newer thoughts around water usage, how we can better design buildings for, you know, for more efficient water usage. And like, for example, I know that the city of Los Angeles, they do require certain, like, you know, water features in the bathroom to be a certain level. I don't think we've gotten down to that detail in our elements, but, you know, I definitely, this prompted my thoughts on, yeah, we're done with this process, and it's a you know, it's a hard deadline, but I still want there to be further input so that we can take into consideration, and it's just better for, you know, better developments, and again, for water efficiency and usage.
Absolutely. And we at a later after this point, we can come back as the program progresses, as we implement programs related to water. We can come back at a later time, make an amendment to that element, and incorporate goals and policies.
That would be great. Yeah, I think it's certainly worth exploring here on the council, because, you know, again, I know that we are two different jurisdictions, two different agencies, but as we're looking at projects here at the city that are to be developed, we should be thinking about that water efficiency, water usage,
Absolutely.
especially given drought conditions and, you know, things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that we could incorporate that at some point.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you for that. So at this moment, I will make a motion to pass item number 10. Second, City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. Item number 11, we have the general plan amendment to change the general plan designation from single-family residential to open space, and change the zoning designation from single-family residential to open space, and that is for the expansion of the Barnes Park at 3301 Patricia Avenue. Staff recommends that City Council continue the item to August 2nd, 2023. So that is what we'll do, and then there will be a notice out for people in that area to be aware of the public hearing. In case they have any questions, concerns, they can come out and speak. And then I believe there's no other action needed on this item. Is that correct?
Since we're gonna actually provide notice, there's no need to make any formal continuance. We're just gonna bring it back and put it on the agenda.
Great, thank you for that, City Attorney. So we move on to our reports of officers, appointment of member of the Measure BP Stakeholders Oversight Committee, also known as SOC, lottery selection process. And so I will go ahead and hand this over to Enrique, and he will tell us how we will do this.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, City Council. You know, this has been a very exciting process for us as staff. You know, seeing the vision of Measure BP beginning to take a real physical form and shape, seeing the response from the residents and stakeholders in wanting to be engaged and involved in the decision-making of the city is also very rewarding. And you're seeing it in today's number of applicants to be on the SOC. And it's very gratifying for us as your staff. And it is with that sense of gratification that we are going to walk you through this process, first of its kind that I know of, where we use a lottery system as stipulated in the ordinance to reflect the policy of the city council. And so on the staff report, there's a chart that you have on there that lists the names of the applicants that that have submitted. And in looking at that chart, we will go from left to right as we come up with each of the categories. And then we'll get to the point where we will activate the lottery electronically based, which our very own Crystal and Shirley, with the work and assistance of our IT staff, were able to put it in place. And so it's really exciting even in that regard as well. But we have 5 categories. Oops. We have 5 categories. And what I'd like to propose, Mayor, is that we go from left to right on that graph, on the chart that you have on there. I'll read it out. And then there's the first 3 categories for which we have 1 applicant, which is great in the sense that, you know, there's no category that went without interest. So the way that we would recommend that you make the selection on those categories is by reading out, the chair, read out the name of the person. Every applicant has been vetted, so they meet all the criteria, eligibility criteria for being on the SOC. So if we begin with the first category, which is going from left to right, that'll be the lottery. When we get to the last 2 categories, that's when we will activate the lottery. Okay. First category for which we have the youth sports or an arts organization. We have Mr. Gregory Orozco as the applicant and the nominee. So if Mayor, you can read his name into the record, and then at the end of this whole process, the council will certify the selected members. And then there will be an oath of office at the next meeting. But for today, it'll be the selection. So you'll do a certification of the selected members at the end of the meeting, but if you can read the first category into the record.
Yes. So just to be clear, I mean, so I guess this kind of goes in hand with, I know Mr. Luna had asked why we don't bring out all these reports. So just so you know, when we have an agenda, it kind of looks really thick. And if we did this for everybody, it would be a big use of paper. But if you want to see the names, just so you know they're on the record, you can see them at the staff report at the Baldwin Park City Council website. So youth sports or art organization, we only had 1 applicant, and that was Gregory Orozco. And he is from Tough Kids Wrestling. So Gregory Orozco, I mean, just by default, he will be the appointed member for the Youth and Sports Organization representative. We do have, for the duly ordained of the clergy, we have 1 applicant. And so by default, that will be the appointee, and that is Pastor Elmer Jackson. For representatives of the Baldwin Park Unified School District, we only had 1 applicant, and that is, of course, by default, that will be the appointee, and that is Betsy Lara. So we will move on to...
Yes. So now the category for which we will activate the drawing, and I want to stipulate that in both of these categories, we had 2 applicants who applied for both of those categories. The nonprofit organization and the resident category. So we will draw the nonprofit organization first, and depending on who those applicants are who get selected randomly, we will select 1 member from the nonprofit organization, and then we'll see who the name is and whether that person is also an applicant in the next category. So, Crystal, let's activate the drawing. Ajá, María Estela.
So Maria Estela Mata Carcamo will be the representative for a duly nonprofit organization in Baldwin Park. And just so we are clear, we had four applicants, and they were Beatriz Sandoval, Christopher Garrido, Cruz Baca, and Maria Estela Mata Carcamo. So next we're going. Do you know the?
I don't have it here. Maria Estela, what organization does she belong to? Maria Estela, what nonprofit organization does she belong to?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Put her government.
Okay. Okay.
Using
So,
the legal names.
so Maricela did not apply at the next category, so we don't have a conflict. Okay.
Right.
Excellent. Now the last category.
So before we do we'll just name the name so everybody knows who's going to be on there. Just so that everybody knows who the applicants are.
Yeah.
So we're picking 3 members, and those are all Baldwin Park residents. And we have Christy Valenzuela, we have Christopher Garrido, we have Christopher Ramos Venegas, we have Cruz Baca, we have Edgar Estrada, for the record, no relation, Eric Pena, Jorge Hernandez, Mario Maciel Jr., Nim Nguyen, Sasha Rodriguez, and Stephanie Gonzalez.
She's on the others. For the nonprofit. So, yeah, there's a resident asking who feels that they applied, Norma Olmos, but we went through this quite thoroughly, and we don't have her. Yeah, Norma Olmos. Yeah, we went through all of the applications very thoroughly, but we don't have her. Don't have her. Yeah. Norma almost. Yeah, we don't.
How do they claim to have submitted the application? Or do we know?
We took applications in person, some by electronic as well. So any number of ways, but no, we would have clearly have known. I mean, we can go through with, well, let's see. Yeah, we don't have a record, Mayor Pro Tem. I think we would have known clearly. Yeah.
Gone through the application. Have we been?
So I guess what we're presenting to you is a pre-certified list of applicants. I mean, meaning that it's exhaustive of any which way in which we would have received an application. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just. Yeah, okay, continue.
Read it out, Mayor.
Yes, so we have Jorge Hernandez, and he's sitting right here in the front. We're all familiar with Jorge because he was our senior of the year, and he was also a former prom king, right? And he's also already very, very involved in senior services. So, congrats.
Sure.
And that is Sasha Rodriguez, if I'm not mistaken. Is Sasha here today? I believe so. Oh, yes. Congratulations to everybody. And we just want to reiterate that the reason we do it through the lottery is because, we want to show that we are transparent and making sure that people have a fair opportunity to be involved in how the city will expend Measure BP dollars. So we will go ahead and certify.
So let's see, Jorge, we had Sasha.
And Nguyen.
Guyan? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so certified, if you can please do so.
Great, so we will go ahead and make a motion to approve the lottery winners into their respective positions on the SOC.
Second.
Second, City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk, and congratulations to all the lottery winners. So we will go ahead and move on with the next item, which is review of commission applications and considerations of appointment to fill the the term dates.
Yeah.
Enrique, what are the term dates? Do you know?
For the commissioners?
So they'll be sworn in on August 2nd, 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, so next council meeting, all of the seven selected now candidates will be sworn in by the city council.
And it's
So-
a 4-year term.
Oh, wait, no.
Mr. Mayor,
Now we have to move on to
Oh,
another lottery.
sorry, so
That's
you-
what you meant. Yes.
So it says from the 7 members names selected above. Oh, there's going to be a second drawing where will
Yeah.
be held to determine the length of the inaugural term for the purposes of staggering the term. So it's very important that we stagger them so that we don't have to replace everybody all at once.
Yeah.
So the first 4 names drawn will serve a 4-year inaugural term, and the last 3 members will remaining will serve 2-year inaugural terms.
Yes.
Okay, so we're
The
going.
first 4 would be Greg, Elmer, Betsy.
No, I think they're doing a second
No.
lottery.
Oh, for that one.
The-
Okay.
So now all of the 7 names themselves go into a lottery,
Okay.
and the first 4 names picked will serve a 4-year initial term.
Got it.
So Betsy Lara, 4-year term. Oh, Pastor Jackson, 4-year term. Gregor Orozco, 4-year term. and Nguyen, 4-year term. Okay.
For a 2-year term.
The other 3 will serve an initial 2-year term.
Great, okay, so I think we need a second motion, is that? So I'll make a motion to approve the staggered terms based on the lottery.
That's fair.
Can I get a second?
I like the way you did it.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you for that, City Clerk. So we're going to move on to our review of commission applications and considerations of appointments to fill the scheduled vacancies for city commissions. And we can start off with our Planning Commission. Is there any nominations on the floor?
Mayor, I'll make the first nomination.
Okay,
I'll go ahead and move to nominate Mario Maciel.
I will second. Any objections? We don't have to do a roll call and all at once, right? We'll do it at the end, if there's no objections. Okay. If not, I will nominate Jen Escobosa. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. Is there any nominations on the floor?
Mayor, is Eric Pena, is his term up?
All 5 are.
Yeah.
Or all 5? Oh, I'd like to nominate Eric Pena.
I'll second.
All right. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Roman Rodriguez.
Second.
Roman Rodriguez, first and second. Is there a fifth and final nomination on the floor?
So who have we nominated so far?
So we have, oh,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's okay. We have Maciel, we have Pena, we have Escobar, well, Mario, Jen, Eric, and Roman Rodriguez.
I think we should get a balance of men and women. So
You have Ramona Rodriguez, Sasha Rodriguez, Stephanie
But
Gonzalez.
Sasha Rodriguez, is that the same one that just got on the sock?
Made it to the sock.
So is she going to prefer the sock?
So do you want to, so I think
she gets the choice.
So we said that
I
there,
think we should just look at others.
Yeah.
Because we really want to encourage more civic participation.
Yeah,
if
so
you
she
ask
got on the
me.
sock. Let's remove her from the planning.
all right. So you have,
What about Mario Flores?
I would encourage us to have a good mix, you know, like half women, half men if possible.
And right now we have one woman.
Oh, I see. Okay. Jean, do you want to make nominations since you haven't nominated anybody?
No, I'll go ahead and leave that to you guys. But I agree with Mayor Pro Tem that it should be a female.
So
I don't know these individuals very well, so I think that.
So the only two females left are, from what I see,
Evangelina.
Stephanie and Evangelina.
Mhm.
wait, is
Like Ramona.
Ramona, where's,
But I think that's Roman. I think it was a typo.
Roman.
Roman was a typo.
Sorry, Roman.
Sorry.
Hey, but you get all the attention now, see? Oh, we only have Sasha Rodriguez and we have Stephanie Gonzalez.
Yeah, Stephanie
Evangelina.
and
Evangelina.
And we look at their applications?
Evangelina, yeah.
Oh, Evangelina Franco. So we have
I'll go ahead and nominate Stephanie Gonzalez.
Okay.
Then I'll second.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have 5 nominees. So we have Mario Flores, we have Eric Pena, we have Jen Escobosa, Roman Rodriguez, and Stephanie. Last name was
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. Okay.
So we have 2 and 2 at this point.
Oh, we have 5.
Yeah,
Right,
3
but
and 2.
two women, 2 men.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No.
3 men.
3 men,
And
2
2
women.
3 men, 2
Yeah.
women.
Women.
Okay. So we've nominated 5. Is there a motion on the floor from any council members to approve all 5 simultaneously?
I will make a motion, Mayor, to approve the 5 that we selected.
Is there a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
City Attorney, one sidebar.
It's the heat.
They say at the,
The heat is getting to everybody.
that's what they say at court.
Perfect. So
I seconded.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila. Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations.
Okay, so we have the next commission. We have the Parks, was it Recreation and Community Services Commission, and so we have 6 applicants. So we have 8 spots, including 2 high school or 3 for high school.
So we're eliminating
The 5 spots?
2 applicants from there.
Well, then you're only gonna
Eliminating
have
Sasha and
Mayor, we have 5 spots and the 3 extra are students, usually 1 from each.
yeah. So we might want to reach out to the to the school district and make sure that we get some applicants from the school
Once
for the
we
high
start,
schools.
usually that's what's happened.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So you have 6, and then there's 5. So you would nominate Anita Diaz, Cecilia Bernal, Mario Flores.
Mayor,
Actually, you'd have to remove 3 of them.
you only have
You
2.
have 3 enough for a quorum.
so is it 5 and then 1 student? Is that what the commission is?
No, it's 5
5
plus
and 3 students.
5 plus
Ideally,
3
1 from each high school.
Yes.
Mayor, you only have 2 eligible applicants. You have
Who are
to-
they?
No, we have Anita Diaz, Cecilia Bernal, and Mario Flores.
He wasn't nominated to the planning commission.
Yeah, because he wasn't, neither one of them were on the planning or the SOC.
Yeah, Maciel.
I don't see him.
Yeah.
Let me, if I may, support Cecilia Bernal for.
And I second.
Yeah. I think that would, if I can, I'll just say, let's just go ahead, I'll nominate Anita Diaz, Cecilia Bernal, Mario Flores, and then let's try to see if we can add 2 other ones that way.
Yeah. Do you want to try to recruit 2 more seats?
What about the ones that didn't make it to the planning? Maybe we can put them if they want.
Yeah, but they'd have to. Then we'd have to make the application process open again,
Oh, got it.
just to be fair. Yeah. So okay. So we'll stick to that. If worst case scenario, then we can consider other action. So we'll because we only have 3 and 4 misses. They don't have quorum. So we'll do. So we'll make the motion to approve Anita Diaz, Cecilia Bernal, and Mario Flores. And have a second.
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you for that. So we are done with nominations, and I know that some of you are in the room. So if you want to just quickly stand up so we know where you are, if you got nominated.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so I know we have, so on this far side, we have Jen Escobosa, we have Cecilia Bernal, we have Mario Maciel, we have Ramona Rodriguez.
Roman, thank you, Roman. Eric's in the back.
And then we have Eric Pena. And then we had Stephanie.
Flores.
And then we had Anita Diaz. All right. The SOC? The SOC? Oh, and then the SOC. So the SOC committee, I know that if you're in the SOC committee, can you stand? I know we had Pastor Jackson here earlier, and then we have Jorge right here in the front row. We have Greg.
They're great.
And then Betsy's not here. And then we have some other, we have the 3 from the residents, but I don't believe that they're here today. So we'll make sure that we. Yeah, Jorge's on the nonprofit. Right?
I just wanna-
On the resident, sorry. Yeah, you're right, sorry.
And I just want to say thank you guys for applying, because I know it's not an easy task to get our residents to get involved in the civic engagement and stuff. But thank you guys very much for applying, and please encourage other members of the community to apply, so that we have a chance to work together and make our community a better place. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Mayor, I think we're moving into the council communications now, right?
We have City Council acting as successor agency of the dissolved Community Development Commission. So we have 2 items, and I will make a motion to approve those. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Ayala.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And then we do have the Finance Authority regular meeting and the Housing Authority regular meeting consent calendar. So I'll make a motion to simultaneously approve the both. Can I have a second? Second, City Clerk, roll call, please.
Chair Estrada,
Yes.
Vice Chair Garcia,
Yes.
Board Member Avila,
Yes.
Board Member Ayala,
Yes.
Board Member Damian. Yes. Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you for that, City Clerk, City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests and communications. I know that we've been deliberately talking about the budget for a very long time, and one of the items that we are not able to control, but is a necessity and something that we believe that can be better, is the animal services in our city. I know that it's something that we've talked about this year. I think we paid over $800,000 in fees for that contract, and we can only expect it to get higher as we go, potentially $1 million. So I do want to seek consensus from council to direct staff to study the feasibility of creating our own animal services and or other potential alternatives. I know neighboring cities have done it, and they've been able to save some dollars on it, and one of those is La Puente, so that's even a study we can look into, connecting with them and trying to figure something out.
I think that's a great idea, Mayor, and I fully support that. I think it's time that we definitely start to look at what we can do with that animal shelter, because it hasn't been a service to our community. So I think it's a great recommendation. I support it.
Thank you for that, council member. And then I did want to just bring up the, ARPA is something that we've also been talking about, and we have a multitude of projects in the pipeline and other items that need attention. So we would like to encourage our staff, if possible, to not only appropriate the dollars that they need, but also make sure that they take action on them, hopefully by January, to make sure that we have enough time to appropriate the rest of the dollars before the deadline, and we are able to move forward on a multitude of other projects with whatever is left over after we've covered the initial projects. And then, of course, we do know that Ballpark American Little League has made it to championships out of state, and we had our representative for the office of Blanca Rubio earlier here, but they had to go. But I did want to acknowledge that our Assemblywoman did donate to them $5,000, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? So Assemblywoman has given $5,000 for them to help cover their costs. And I think sounds like we're all eager to make sure that the city itself supports our Little League and getting them to Arizona. It is from what I recall, it is their first championship in the history of the league itself. And it is a women's, girls softball team. So we want to make sure we encourage girls in our community to have those opportunities as well.
Mayor?
Yes.
And I'll have my own comments later, but in terms of your conversation regarding Baldwin Park, American Little League, and the girls making it this far, I think it's really important that we support them any way we can, because they've been working very, very hard. They're a strong team, and I think they're an excellent representation of our community and youth sports. So anything we can do to support them, then I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not every time that we get, one of our Little League sports teams going out to represent not just our city, but our state. I know, back in the day when I used to coach, and we won District 19 All-Star tournaments, and we would go further out. It does start to get expensive. And not only that, we want to show them how proud they are to represent our community. So we want them to look their best. We want them to play their best. And the only way that they're going to do that is by having the community support them. So whatever it is that we can do as a city to help them out to get there, and not only get there, but, have their meals and their rest so that they can go out there and, represent Baldwin Park the way they're going to. I would be in total favor of us figuring out what we can do to find some funding to help them get to Arizona.
I want to also express my support for that.
Great.
I just want to congratulate the team and the coaches and the parents that have been involved. I know it's tough because everybody works and right after work, they're out on the field, they're practicing, and then they still have to go to games. It's a big commitment to our girls, and I congratulate you for committing yourself to making sure they succeed. So congratulations, and we're definitely here to help you whatever you need. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see the council's very supportive of this, and it's very exciting. I guess we should just throw it out there. We can do something about the funds, but we can't do anything about the weather, and it looks like they're hitting triple digits. So make sure, yes, extra money for ice and water. And, but yes, we do want to make sure that the girls come back after and we celebrate them and make sure that we acknowledge them. And I believe that they're already on the marquee. Great.
So really quick question, because I know that I think Cecilia say that they're leaving Friday, right? So how are we going to get the money to them? Right? Because
We'll have a check ready for them tomorrow.
really? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so Cecilia, come knocking on his door tomorrow, and if he doesn't answer, you call me, okay? Yeah. So keep us updated. We want to, I think you can see it on
Where's the World
online.
Series?
I think we should. Who's in charge of getting Spectrum to do a report on them? Spectrum TV puts up reports, things that are going on in our community. Who would look into that? Getting Spectrum to maybe do
That's a
something,
great. That's
a
a great
piece on them.
idea. I will connect with the Little League and see if Spectrum is open to crafting a article.
Yes, that would be great.
Clip.
Can I consider something? Can I suggest something? I'm going to hope that they make it to the World Series and we do a little viewing for them. If we can get something going so we can cheer them on all the way from home.
Yeah, that would be good too.
All right. So we are all set. Is there any other council communications, any comments, questions, concerns?
Mayor,
Yes.
I just had a few things to say. I wanted to thank, and I know they left, but I just want to thank them. I want to thank Tony Mojica for coming out and expressing his need to support his students as well. I think he's an excellent role model for our community as well in what he does. So I want to thank him for that. And I want to thank Cecilia for representing District 19. I appreciate everything you do, and I'm glad you're back on the commission representing Parks and Rec. And I want to thank also American Little League President Victor. I'm glad that you're here, and we're glad to support you. I want to thank everybody that came out to apply, and even if you didn't get selected this time, to keep doing it. I'd appreciate you guys doing those, making those efforts. I do want to report out that I did attend the National Association of Latino Elected Officials, their 40th conference from July 11th to 13th. It afforded us the opportunity to meet with not just local officials, but state and national elected officials. We did speak on small businesses in our community, budgets and funding, not just school districts, but also municipalities. We were able to participate, as were all those participating in the event. We were able to participate in a service project which directly affected any victims of domestic violence in the area that of New York, because that's where our conference was at. And I I appreciated the caliber of elected officials that were there and those that I was able to collaborate with, not just like our local, but like I said, across the nation. My last two things I wanted to talk about is that we talked earlier about traffic information regarding our roundabout, and I appreciate that study that was done in the presentation that was given. And we also addressed and we mentioned that we've experienced some reckless driving in our community, maybe not just from residents here, but going through. And I know that there's been efforts to enforce that, in terms of traffic safety. And I think that's needed. And we know that we have an issue with covering those patrols and things of that sort. So I do know, Chief, that we've been in the past, when I served on this council before, we were awarded a traffic safety from the Office of Traffic Safety grants that assisted us in kind of like paying or supplementing the overtime. And I know that we've had that in the past, and we've had that year round, or different years, I should say, consecutively. So I wanted to know if you could let me know what is the amount that we've been awarded for this year? Okay, so you're saying that we did apply for the grant for the Office of Traffic Safety?
Are spending some money right now for over.
Okay, but you don't know what the award was?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so because I know we've applied for it in the past, so maybe I'll just ask Rose, if maybe you can obtain that information. How much was awarded under the OTS grant for traffic safety?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And my last two things, thank you, Chief. My last two things, because I think that's important that we know that information. And then last but not least, I wanted to wish my 4-year-old cousin, Daniel Quesada, happy birthday. So thank you for that. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, did you, Christopher?
Sure, absolutely. So this past last week, I had the opportunity and the privilege to represent the city of Baldwin Park at NALEO Educational Fund Conference. NALEO Educational Fund is the nation's leading nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that facilitates full Latino participation in the American political process, from citizenship to public service. As city clerk, it is my responsibility to foster continued civic activism and engagement, as well as include transparency. We had the opportunity to engage in discussions that would provide for the opportunity to break barriers and inspire the next generation of Latino leaders, increase Latino access to the ballot box, connect our constituents to the democratic process, engage our community to get involved. I had the opportunity to participate in multiple workshops, some that very much align with my passions, as both our chief deputy city clerk and our city manager are aware, is my passion for technology. So I had the opportunity to engage with several leaders in discussions about the blockchain tech revolution. Also had conversations and attended workshops on small business and Latino entrepreneurship that would allow us to bring information to our community, to connect our constituents and small businesses with the federal Small Business Association that would open them up to millions of dollars to help increase their businesses. We had a conversation on workforce development, had a conversation on financial outlook in the global economy, and also participated in discussions about Latino leadership in America, leadership, compassion, fatigue, and self-care that talked about mental health. And plenty of plenaries and roundtable discussions. It was an honor to represent the city of Baldwin Park at this incredible conference, and I would strongly suggest that all of my colleagues attend eventually. I also, so with that, I also just want to confirm that the Recreation Commission is now open to applications. I know that we appointed 3, but those other 2 positions, are we okay to move forward to collect applications? Cool. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you for that. And I just do, I just want to ditto on what you said. It is pretty normal for elected officials to go to these events. I mean, it's a matter of networking, and we do get to learn a lot. Sometimes you engage with businesses depending on the event. Sometimes you engage with other electeds. Sometimes you get to listen to electeds at higher levels of government, whether it's a congressperson or sometimes even the president, depending on the convention and the stature of it. But these are ultimately beneficial for everybody as our electeds get to learn and grow and see what other cities are doing, and then we're able to bring it back here and put our twist on it and do things differently rather than just kind of keeping things going and it keeps our politics fresh, which is very important as well. So with that,
Mayor, if I may, I'm so sorry. It's going to be like less than a minute, but also thank you to our city attorney and mayor for bringing up AB 1234, and that's definitely the first time that hearing about it. So with that, I also want to I guess inform the council that last month, I, along with our city treasurer and staff, had the opportunity to attend the Growing Water Smart Conference in Ontario. Excuse me, it was more of a workshop, not a conference, in Ontario, where we had discussions about increasing our resilience and sustainability as cities. I know that I've had an opportunity to speak with some members of the council and look forward to having that continued dialogue with the rest of you. Thank you.
great. So with that being said, we are at the end. So I will move to adjourn all the council meetings that are currently running simultaneously. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any objections? If not, good night, everybody.
Night. Thank you.